And we live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it's not going to happen in this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello, welcome in. Be sure to like the video and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. You guys make sure you subscribe to Mrs. Best channel. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on Mrs. Best channel. We have both Love and Hip Hop Miami and Atlanta on her channel, and also Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which are all three currently going at this time. So if you want to see our opinions on those type of shows, you're going to subscribe to Mrs. Best channel to get our honest opinion. And trust me, we go in on those videos. We leave no expense spared on those asses. So let's go ahead and talk. And while you're subscribing to us, make sure you subscribe to Shana underscore MCD TVs. Shana has a new channel, you guys, that I believe it's starting to get monetized, or she's on the way to get monetized. Either way, we want to support our girl. So please subscribe to her channel. Her information is here, as well as my description box. Please subscribe to Shana's new channel. Make sure we, are doing her a solid, because Shana was one of the first YouTubers and content creators that actually found me. So I want to make sure I return any favors of support to her. So go ahead and subscribe to her channel as well. Do us that solid. What up, Shady? Thank you for being here, love. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here. So, y'all, this is Love and Marriage Huntsville Reunion, Season 9 Reunion Part 2. And what I will say is that I got my entire life. I laughed so hard. But apparently, outside of this video, there was a deleted scene of this part recap where there was an alleged that Destiny had made that Martell and Melody had groomed her. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers are picking that up and talking about it. I don't want to do it because I don't believe it. So unless Mrs. Best objects to that, I don't think I should do it. I really don't. Mrs. Best, what do you think?
No, absolutely not. That sounds crazy. That's something you don't talk about until you got receipts. That's so strange. And ain't these people around the same age anyway?
Right. Martell and Destiny went to high school together, according to them. So I'm trying to figure out what grooming could have been done. But it's Destiny. I can only take so many things. That's why I tell y'all get mad at me when I don't take up for Destiny, especially when it comes to that Sonny and Moses situation, even though I do think Sonny was foul. Because I can't trust Destiny. Like, if it was somebody else, fine, but Destiny be full of shit a lot of the times, y'all. I can't get with Destiny. I can't. Like, I try. I do, because I think she's beautiful. I think she's, has somewhat of a good head on her shoulders, but I can't get with her 100% of the time. I just can't. Because I think she's so full of shit. So, but it is what it is. We're going to move on, y'all. So the reunion opens up where it left off the last episode, which is with Melody and Kimmy going at it about what Melody said about Maurice and how people can't bring certain things to Melody, because if they do, Melody's going to just put them in timeout. I want to talk about it, want to deflect from the situation, or say we're not going to talk about this. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I feel like for me, this entire show from the beginning, Melody and Martell have been open books this entire time. We knew about the infidelity. We knew about the outside child. We knew about all of these things that they have brought to this show. So if in today's time, or maybe even the last 2 or 3 seasons, since they got divorced, if Melody doesn't want to open up about certain things or share certain things, I think she's well within her right, because she has put her life on the platform when the other couples have not. So I kind of felt like that was unfair for them to put that out there about her and for them to hold her to that sentiment. Mrs. Best, what did you think about that?
My bad, y'all. I'm finishing cooking dinner. I agree. Just off the simple fact that nobody on the cast has had to go through a divorce. No one has had to go through one publicly. I mean, we know Kiowa and what's his face got divorced, but like no one's had to do that publicly. It's already difficult enough to deal with. I did see Kimmy's point, because even with stuff outside of Martell, when it comes to Mel, she does comment on everybody else's stuff. But when they want to comment on her stuff, even separate from Martell, she doesn't ever want to say much. So Kimmy does have a point. However, at the same time, these people have been absolute assholes in regard to how they have treated her going through her divorce. So it's kind of like, what do you expect when you haven't exactly been the warmest to her either? So I saw both sides, but if I was male, I'd behave the same way with these people.
I would too, because I also saw both sides as well. I thought Kimmy was right, but at the same time, when you look at the outer picture of it, you can't really expect her to just say, "Oh yeah, let's talk about all of your business. I'm not going to tell you none of mine. And when I do want to confront you about something you said about my business, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do so." And it's like, yeah, I got that, all of that, I got,
It
but at
was
the same
also
time,
hypocrisy from Kimmy because it's
yeah,
like Mel handled y'all in discussing her divorce and her business the same way you and Maurice handled this DUI with a bunch of BS and not wanting to talk about it. So, Kimmy, you are the wrong person to be delivering this message.
I agree, 1,000%. I agree that she's the wrong person. Shani said, "I'm over that Sonny and Moses thing. They are married now. She's not just screwing him. She's to get back at you. Destiny, they're married and ready to have babies." Yeah, I kind of feel like Destiny need to move past that. She really does. Like it's you know honestly, I think it's one of those situations where because Moses didn't do the same with her, it things a little different that you not have to throw that in our face. And we'll get to that when we get there. We'll get there. Trust me. None of them had an ex threatened with revenge. Oh yes, that too. I feel like the circumstances are different when when it comes to Melody and Martell versus the other. We're talking about something that Maurice could have prevented versus something that Mel didn't ask for. I think that that's what we need to understand about that situation. So the circumstance then shifts to Nell and how Nell has had a situation with Melody where she could not be honest and tell Mel how she felt because of how Melody handled it. And what we're talking about is the whole mentor conversation. So Mel said it hurt her feelings. And I'm trying to be light on this because when I look at it from this point of view, I understood Melody a little bit more because I told y'all in the video, I do remember Melody saying that. I do remember that being the conversation. But what I do think more so is that the term counsel and mentor got merged and mixed up. And I think that that's where this gray area happened. So Miss Nell felt a way about Melody saying that they did not mentor her and Martell when they were married, and that she was never a mentor with her. When Nell recalls conversations that would happen to the wee hours of the morning, and all kind of circumstances where she's had to give her advice and everything through marriage, and she would say Melody deflected and said, "No, you just gave Martell that. You just said that to Martell. It was always Martell." And Nell said, "Yeah, a lot of it was Martell, but it was some of you too." Now, I do think that the lines got blurred. I think that counsel is one thing, but mentor is another. I look at mentoring as like I'm going into a career path or I'm going into an entrepreneurship and I'm seeking out a mentor to help me go through the ropes and keep me, motivated to continue to go. Where I'm thinking of counsel is it's more of a personal matter where I'm going through something in my life circumstances that are not necessarily business that you can probably counsel me through because I may not handle the situation in the best manner. Mrs. West, how did you feel about that?
What I don't like about Nell is when she does something for someone, whether it be counseling, mentoring, any of that, she has to point it out and she has to always get that verbal statement from the person like, oh, you've done this for me. And then the moment that you feel away about Nell, it seems like she brings it and throws what she's done for others in the face. The other thing that annoys me with Nell is homegirl like to act like she's the one that can give wisdom and counsel these couples, but then she also is the one running around acting like she's half her own age. So with Nell, to me, it's hard for me to have any type of empathy for her because I think she got all sorts of problems. within herself that she needs to work on, and she shouldn't be arguing and counseling no one. It also seems like she uses her mom's death as a weapon against people. I understand the pain of losing a parent. I get that she's never going to get over that, and I get that that's going to change her. But what would she say if this situation with Melody, when she was helping her and Martell with conversations into the night, what would she say if her mother was not passing on at that time? Then what would your argument be? So with Nell, I just do not see it for her. I feel like who the you know what cares? Because, lady, you are twice this woman's age. Why do you even give a damn about being called a counselor or any of that? Like, I don't know. I just can't get in the nail.
Let me see your comment, Shane. You've been commenting. I love it. I love it. I think it hurt Miss Nell really the way Mel responded with that high pitched laughing when she said, "How did you mentor me?" I think that was it too because it looked embarrassing on TV. So I think Nell was more so embarrassed by that, and I think she doesn't have the words. I think that that's really what Miss Nell's problem is. She doesn't have the words because I think she was embarrassed that that was Mel's response versus the hurt and the slight that Mel did, I guess, in her mind, devalue what that really was for her. I think that that's really what it was too. I agree with that, Shani. Nell go from 0 to 1,000 real quick. I think you said it before, Twin. She need to talk to the lady also. I remember that. Yep, we all agree with that. That's where Nell lost my sympathy. If you counseling them while your mom was dying was something you held against them, you shouldn't have done it. Thank you,
Thank
Bat.
you.
Thank you, Bat. That's exactly what I feel too. I feel like for me, there's nothing that would be in the way of a dying parent for me. Like, I actually experienced that myself, y'all. And there was nothing that could have gotten away between me and my father at the time of, him fighting for his life until he took his last breath. There was nothing that could have warned me, not even
That's
my
why I
mom.
say
Like,
she's
I had tried
using.
with my father. So no, there's nothing.
That's why I say she's using her mama's death as a weapon, because there's no reason for you to be bringing that up. You chose to do it. That's your choice, and you knew what was going down with your mom. So they don't be trying to make anybody else feel bad for your own pain. Now, I cannot stand this woman. She's the most insecure person I think personally that's
Mhm.
on the cast in the
Yeah,
shows.
I agree. And so as Miss Nell was giving her, explanation to Carlos and the crew, I don't know if the cameras panned towards Melody and they were like, she was talking, but you heard Marceau and Tisha like, Mel, let's just hear her out. Like, don't do that to her. Just hear her, let her get her out. And Mel's like, I'm hearing her. Like, I'm hearing this. I don't know what Mel was doing that made them have to say that, but I didn't like that. Don't try to correct my response to what I'm hearing. If I feel like it's BS, no matter how serious it is, it's BS to me. So I kind of feel like I don't like them chastising her. So after they finish, they take a break. And Marcel and Tisha were talking to Mel. They were like, this is how everyone feels. Whenever we try to bring up a situation to you, it's dismissed. But when you bring situations to us, we have to listen, we have to hear you. And I feel like certain circumstances, yes, I could see that. But in this circumstance, no, I'm sorry. That was a way to try to down her and make her feel like, the friendship was only one sided when it came to Melody. And in that situation, I don't agree with Nell and Melody, y'all. I don't agree that that situation was one sided in Mel's favor. I don't agree with that. Sorry. Um, what you're saying? I'm sure if Miss Nell said to Melody anytime, listen, I can't talk right now. I got to go spend some time with my mom. She would understand that real quick and have no problem with it. I agree with that as well. I agree with that 100% too. Right, Ashton? Yep. Mel was all at that lady's house throwing dishes and screaming at Martell, save it. I remember that too, but I can't put that as mentorship though. Black Celine, I get what you're saying. That's why I said in that time, I felt like Melody did downplay it. I do feel that way. But when I really look at the words mentor versus counseling, Mel never denied the counseling. Mel, and only it was only that time when she spoke with the producer backstage, what I'm about to get to, is when she said, I don't recall her ever me calling her for counseling for that marriage. And that's when I was gonna say, Mel, you bullshitting because remember you was in that lady house hollering at Martell and throwing things. That's what I was gonna mention that. So I appreciate you saying that, but that's still not the same thing of what we're talking about in this previous moment. We're talking about something completely different. We're talking about Nell using the sympathy vote to try to make it seem like I put my mother and her feelings aside to be there for you. So how dare you downplay? That's what we're talking about, and that's what I can't get on board with. Is that yeah? So that's what it is. That sounds like a lady being a really good friend and letting you vent, especially breaking up my stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we move on to the producer going to talk about Mel, and I thought Mel was full of shit for this because I felt like, I mean, I wouldn't give her mentor. Like I said, I'm not gonna give Nell no mentorship, but counseling, yes. And Melody, you did. I feel like there was a scene, unless you wanted that to only be for TV. There was a scene where you were throwing that lady's glasses at Martell, saying, "How dare you say that?" When Martell said you didn't satisfy me in the bedroom. That was a counseling session, Melody. We can't let you do that now. I love you and all, but we can't let you downplay that scene because that scene's there. We can clearly see they were trying to get y'all on one accords because you guys were not getting along. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Melody saying that to that producer?
That's another reason I feel like Mel needs to leave the show, and I've been saying it. It's like when she is called out on things, she does not admit to them. Uh, I don't know. The Nell and Mel situation is weird for me on both ends. I don't like it because Nell is basically pointing out something she did for a friend, which you don't point out or expect something in return or try to make your friend feel bad about you supporting them. But then on the other hand, Melody is in some ways downplaying their relationship. So I'm like, honestly, I look at both of them heifers like both of y'all bitches ain't shit. But yeah, kind of over that situation. And I hope next season, well, I guess they won't talk about it because Mel won't be there. Hell. Yeah, that's important. Don't go to your friends and family. Go to people who can
Mm-hmm.
actually remove their bias. Never go to friends
Absolutely.
and family or other
Never.
couples because every couple is different.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree with this comment. A counselor or a friend shoulder to lean on, or maybe the ear to bend, but I don't think mentor. I don't think that either. Because to me, as I said, mentor to me is more of a professional manner than it is personal. Yeah, you can get a personal mentor, you can, but it's hard for me to really expound the lens that someone else's life should be right for how I should live my life because people live differently, people seek differently. That is impossible for someone to be a personal mentor to you. It is impossible, you guys, because we're all going to see life differently. We could all sit on the same side of the table, have the exact same experience, but we could see it differently. There's been studies to prove that. So that's why I said they're playing on the words. Counseling, yes, I can agree that Nell did that. But personally, like a mentor, no, I can't see that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am too. Because I feel like Mel should have left season 6. I really do. I feel like Mel should have left season 6 right after her divorce with Martell. Because then it gave them more ammunition for a lot of them to come at her even more because they were like, how dare you leave this man and still be successful? That's why I felt like she should have left it. Because that's what I was getting. That's the vibes I was getting from everybody. Yeah, Mel been blowing up her business life. Miss Nell, did you talk to her about that? Give her advice as to what she should do and where road should she be going now? True. Yeah, because Nell owns a business herself. So I don't know. Did that ever happen? She never said it. So we can never believe it. So we're gonna move on, y'all. The next segment to come up is Destiny's segment. Now, Destiny had took a break from what Carlos had said, and she wasn't giving, as Kimmy pointed out. So now they asked her like, "What changed now? Why are you giving?" And she said, "Oh, I think that I just wasn't in the headspace to give. I was in a dark place, and now things are looking better for me and everything." And so, I was like, okay, Destiny, we'll give you that. That's fine. I mean, she did go through a divorce, lots of turmoil. They bring up Lance. And I said, oh, yeah, here y'all go with this mess. So they bring up Lance and they bring up the situation about, Nell and how that worked out and everything. Because Nell really was the first person to really blow it out that they were kind of dating. So they asked how much age difference is it between you and Lance? And she said, oh, about 6, 7 years. Nell said 9. And Destiny said, it is not no 9 years. Nell said, you're 42, right? Lance is only 33. Do the math. Destiny said, I am not 42. I'm grown. And we were like, well, what the hell does that mean? You could just a simple yes or no. Are you 9 years older than this boy, or are you
Destiny
42?
irritated me with that, talking about I'm not 42, I'm grown. Well, girl, we know that you are at over 30 because you look it. Stop playing. You look good, but you don't look like some just young spring chicken. She irritated me this whole segment, James.
She irritated me too because it was like, how hard is it? Because Nell does this same thing. I would have threw either you was gonna tell your age or throw it back on Nell. Nell, how old are you? Real quick. Like let's talk about the age shaming here because you don't like to tell your age the same way I don't like to tell mine. And I don't understand that. Like as long as you're not 70, I don't get what the problem is. Like, and I'm not trying to throw shade at 70 years, but I'm talking about 70 in this environment with a bunch of 30 and 40-year-old people, is what I'm saying. Like that kind of to me is where I'd be like, okay, why are you really on this show? Like, what is you trying to do? Like that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to age shame somebody 70.
No, she probably feels a way about her age because Destiny looks good. I think she feel a way about her age because she too damn big and grown to be getting felonies and arrested and all of those types of things. I think that might be it. Because if we find out her actual age and the foolishness that she's doing after being exposed to a show and more opportunity than most regular people, she too big. She should know better.
Shady, I actually got that covered up laughing at that. But no, I'm just saying for me, I just felt like Destiny, like, I wish she would be real. This is where I wish Destiny was real and just say, Lance, I'm just using Lance for maintenance purposes. That's all. I get his mama sitting a few feet from you, but at the end of the day, he is grown and it is what it is. I feel like that was never a relationship. I feel like, it was cute to see them trying to kiss on camera and taking her on a date and stuff. That was all cute. But at the same time, I really don't feel like Destiny was ever into that little boy. I don't. I don't feel like Destiny was into him at all. I feel like she was just using him as most people do when they have needs. And there's nothing wrong with. Let me explain something to y'all. There is nothing wrong with getting needs fulfilled if that's what you really want to do. I feel like do what you need to do, but don't make it seem like, oh, we have great chemistry and like I liked him a lot. I've liked him for years. We've had chemistry for years. Define years, Destiny, because years ago you were married. Define years.
I just want to see how she act when he gets an actual girlfriend. That's all.
Oh, that man ain't gonna stay single long.
He's
Uh,
not. He's
Word on the
not.
purpose, he just had a newborn somewhere around last year. That's what somebody else was saying on the YouTube video that he has a newborn baby. So once again, we trying to figure. That's why I said Destiny. I can't get with Destiny, y'all, because it's lies. Like it's like what say what it is. So they asked Nell, like Carlos asked Nell being Bessie, can you see Destiny being your daughter-in-law? And she goes, well, there was actually a funny joke about that. That did get brought up, and at first I would have been honored if Destiny would have been my daughter-in-law, but now I feel differently. And they're like, well, what changed? They said, I don't believe Destiny really is honest. I think Destiny is only telling me things that are surface. And we're like, yeah, absolutely she is, because she's not honest. Like she's not being honest. And so Carlos whispered to Destiny, you met a date other men, and she goes, oh, I am, trust me. And I'm like, see, that's what we're saying. Just saying you date multiple people, but you're trying to put this inference that you and Lance have all this chemistry and you and Lance are this. And it's like, I don't see it. To me, I don't see it at all. Just like I didn't see it with LeBaric. And I don't remember her in a relationship with Moses being on this show. So that's why I'm like, I don't really see Destiny having chemistry with any man. I really don't. Like, it's because she's so weird and awkward. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. He probably had a new one before Destiny. She was out the door. Okay, good man. I don't know, but I'm just saying that man ain't gonna stay single long. That man ain't gonna. That man, trust me. All these women that's gonna hit up them. I wouldn't be surprised if these DMs was flooded once they got on TV because a lot of ladies love them little light skin with some braids. Y'all love a lot of ladies love that. I don't understand. No cars told they don't like you. Find a new man on the floor. I'm trying to tell you, because I feel like it's both sides. I feel like Destiny, like I said, it was for maintenance. I really feel like if she did give that man some of her cookies, that was for maintenance, oil changes. That's all that was. I don't really, because I didn't see the chemistry.
Listen, separate from that, everybody's focused on that. What I noticed during this scene, Nell is too involved in her son's dating life, in my opinion. It may not show just yet, but I get the feeling that she is difficult to have as a mother-in-law or to be dating someone and dealing with her. I got that energy and that feeling. I didn't really feel it was Nell's place to even speak about accepted destiny as an in-law. You could have nipped that in the bud by saying it don't seem like it's nothing serious because all my son said is that she's a nice lady and we have a good time together. Because that's really all that was said for what she explained. So I felt like a lot of Nell's response was just extra. But at the same time, Destiny gives the type who just goes around, she meet a nigga, she sleep with a nigga, she get her little thing off, and then she keeps it moving. So you are right. It probably is maintenance. But I don't even know why we're talking about this on this reunion of all the things that happen. Who cares? He's not a main cast member, and Destiny's barely here herself. I think you're muted, darling. Your lips are moving. I hear nothing.
I am muted. Sorry. I always do this. I feel like once again, yes, we have more stuff to talk about. So I don't understand why we're talking about this. Let's talk about her rebuilding her life and what happened with the store. What was the situation? Because they said it on camera after all she's went through with the store. So what happened there?
Did you renew your contract for another 6 months in the storage unit? I need to know. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be good, y'all. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be quiet.
She comes across as overly invested in people around her life in general. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, Destiny's hard to read. Like she's hard to read because everything that comes out of her mouth is just kind of like, okay, why do we need to process that differently than how it sounded? That's how I always get with Destiny. Like we have to process what Destiny's saying and like try to do like almost trigonometry to understand exactly what she's saying because it's like it's way too complicated and it'd be the most simplest thing, but you have to really like process it well. Um, we know who you meant, but but we talking about Destiny right now. Nell, to me, I think Nell. The problem with Nell is that I don't want to say she's bored, but she just reminds me of somebody who always knows everybody's tea, and when people don't give it to her, she like progresses deeper into your life until she gets it. And I think when it comes to Destiny, because Destiny not gonna let you fully in, she's just not that person. It bothers her that Destiny has not done that yet, the same way the other ladies have. So I think that that's why Nail does that. I really do. I think when you don't open up fully to her because she's trustworthy in her mind, I think that that's why she, prods and pokes and everything like this. Hi, Naya. Thank you for being here tonight, love. We appreciate you too. So we move on to there. This segment comes up with Sunny and Moses and this whole situation, them being married. Um, yes, like the video, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to me. And Carlos asked Destiny, like when did you find out that they, were dating? And Destiny says that she found out 2 days before Sunny released the wedding pictures that they were dating and that they were then now married. And Sunny said, no, I was not married when I told her. I had left it open to Moses to tell her because that was his ex. And so I left it up to him to say it, and I gave him the time. And then I reached out once the relationship got serious and we were going to get married. Then I reached out. But I was not married when she found out. Like, that's not true. And so the situation, because it had to be explained a couple of different times, and I was laughing the entire time. So Tisha pipes up. It says, regardless of however it looked, I think it's a trifling situation for you knowing that this was your friend and that was her man, that you would insert yourself in this secretly and go and marry the man. I think that that is trifling. And Sonny was like, well, didn't you date one of Marcel's friends? And she goes, no, I never dated none of Marcel's friends. I don't do friends. Like, even when I was dating Marcel, I asked all my friends, did y'all date him? Because I don't want to be mixed up. And then I was looking at Tisha like, you got way too defensive because the answer should have just been, no, that wasn't me. That's all. Homie, when she said he married Sonny to go talk, I'll get there, Shady. But I tell you, I fell on the floor. I fell on the floor because I said, wait, that don't even make sense to me. That's where I felt Destiny. Finding out a couple of days before they got married does seem hurtful. It does. It does. I'm not. Here's the thing. Let me get on back comment right quick because I agree with this. It is hurtful. It is very hurtful. However, the circumstance is that I don't know because I don't fully trust Sunny, and because Destiny does not always open up, I don't know exactly what the true circumstance of the dating, any overlap, what may have happened, the communication. I don't know fully what's clear and what's not. So yes, I can agree with her emotions of it, absolutely, because that's hurtful for anybody. But the play out of it, I'm still fuzzy on. I need all the details. I'm one of those people. I need to process everything outside of the emotions. Because yes, that's hurtful to anybody. But outside of the emotions, what are we really processing? So that's where I wondered if she was okay. We all wondered that. So let's get into that. So Destiny said, what everyone's talking about in the comments, Destiny said that he believes that Moses sought out Sunny to get on the show and try to come on the show to have a conversation with her about it. And everyone looked around and Sunny started chuckling and Bill fell out laughing, and that was me. Because I'm like, Bill. Bill told Carl, she said the fact that she thinks that somebody will go out, get married to somebody, and then to come on the show so they can have an opportunity to speak to you. Like, that's so funny. And then Destiny drops, oh, you just like you and Sunny met up in July to conquer this storyline. And they were like, wait, what? And even Sunny was like, that is not true. I have not seen her in years, the same way I have not seen you. That is not true. And I don't believe that either. I don't believe that they met off camera. Even Carlos said, no, to be fair, we learned this information. And I had asked Marcus to reach out to Sunny to see if she was interested in coming onto the show because that was too good. And we told you that we reached out to them so that they come on the show. Because Destiny had put it out there that Melody wasn't surprised to see them at the podcast. And Melody said she was at, and even Sunny said, no, she was surprised to see us because she did not know we were there. So it was like, Destiny, where did you come up with this? Mrs. Best, please tell me where Destiny came up with this mess. Because I'm just like, y'all, come
Listen,
on.
Destiny wants to be relevant. And I think, like, honestly, if I have to look at it, like if I was at work, it seems like she's just deflecting it whatever way so that it looks like she's back on the show because people want her here based on her having an interesting story. But Kimmy already said it. You did not give. So to leave the show because you weren't that interested and they come back on the show only because your ex dude is dating a producer who was on the show who people know you was cool with, that's harder to admit. So because ain't nobody getting married just to see you. That's stupid, especially if you said to her in arguments while being filmed, if I wanted him, I could still have him. If I hit him up, he'll answer. All these crazy things. Like, no, Destiny's loony. The smartest thing she should have said that she did not say this whole reunion is, I don't want to talk about Sunny and them no more. I'm not giving it no more light. I said what I had to say on the show. That's what she should have done. But it is what it is. I don't want to hear about this storyline. I'm tired of Sonny's forehead. This man is locked up. Why didn't WeTV do like or not WeTV? Why didn't the OWN network do like WeTV with Love After Lockup and film that fool in the jail? Send a producer, book a visit, and get his opinion. However you got to do it, because I would have loved to have seen him in his blues or his oranges. That's how I feel. These people are all trifling to me, Tisha included.
I'm laughing at that too. She got baby. She had text that to me. She said she got a big ass 5 head, like because I thought Sunny looked nice. I did. I thought I liked her look. She's doing better with her hair. She really is, y'all. Because when Sunny first got on the show, I didn't know what the fuck that was. But her hair, I would say the finale episode and this reunion looks so much better. She looks so much better with the hair. And Miss Best said she looked better, but she got a big ass 5 head. We can't not see it. The 4 head, the 5 head of it all. I'm
You
trying to
don't
tell
gotta
you.
tell on me. You don't gotta tell on me. I be
Look at
trying
the
to
reunion.
hate.
You do the same thing to me. Stop it. Well, she dreams. She doesn't have dreams. She has, y'all stop, 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 stop. See, Shani, there you go. Gonna get in trouble. But yeah, we learned that Moses is in prison. He had a probation violation. He has a parole officer that does not, see it for him. And I guess when he started traveling and doing his business or something to that extent, I think it was him being on the show personally. That's just my opinion. It's alleged. I don't know. I don't know this man's court cases, but I think it was him filming this show. That's why he got in trouble, allegedly. So she said, the system, and instead of rehabilitating these men, they choose to, which is a true statement. They choose to, make sure they have to catch them at every moment to put them back to where they were at square one. So, and I have to look at Sunny and go, that's what you get because you knew all of this before you married this man, and you knew the potentials of that. And that's why, because me and Mrs. Best review Love and Hip Hop Miami. There's a young lady on there that is in the same situation where she's talking about when her man come out, they're going back to Miami. And I'm looking at her like, girl, that man can't go no damn Miami. It's not going to happen like that. It's just not. I don't understand what you're thinking. But yes, it doesn't happen like that,
Your
y'all.
parole officer can't just have it out for you. Like they can, but essentially once you see a judge, if it's BS, it's BS. Like, Sonny, I get it, girl. You gonna stick beside him. You gonna stick beside him. I get it. I do it for my husband too. But we know that man violated his probation in some way. What did he do? Was y'all in the club? Was y'all drinking? Was y'all out past his curfew? Because I know he got one. I think it's like James said, it's the parole for St. Louis, and he running around Alabama when he not supposed to be.
Yep.
Like, you not telling us nothing. What is the point of having a cast full of people that's supposed to share their lives on television? And then when you do something that causes you to end up in jail, nobody wants to talk about it. Not Maurice, not Martell, not these people. How you got a reality show with a full of cast of people who want to keep secrets?
I'm just saying, because it's not like we judge anyway because we were reviewers of the show. So regardless of what he did or did not do or lack thereof, we're still going to judge it anyway. So you might as well just come out with the truth because maybe we understand. Just like I made logical reasoning for why he could have been put back in there. And for me, I felt like if the parole officer saw that he was in Alabama when he's not supposed to be and has visual proof of it, then to me, that's a no-brainer. I feel like, why she just couldn't say that? I'm gonna read some of these comments. Why did these ladies act like Moses is the best thing since sliced bread? What does he do for a living? I don't know what he do for a living. I don't know. I heard trucking, I heard freight, I've heard real estate, I've heard all kind of different things. I don't know what he does, but I feel like the eggplant probably must be spectacular. I mean, he must know how to flip it sideways, backways, and make you do cartwheels and land on it. I'm sure that he does something to that extent for these ladies to be doing all of this. Like, and if he doesn't do that, then I need to see what else he can do. Maybe it's the mouth option. Maybe when you sit on his beard, it feel like a feather. I don't know. I don't know. So, I'm just saying, but these ladies act crazy over this man that I can't figure out why. And plus, Sonny got to stick with it now because you don't want to look stupid. Honestly, I actually would have had more respect for her as she left. Because depending on what his jail sentence is, I'm not going to stick around. Let me tell y'all something. You go to prison, depending on who you are. It depends on who you are. But most of the time, you get about 6 months of a sentence before I say, I can't do nothing. Now, if it's something that was unavoidable or not preventable, then I may extend that to 2 to 5 years. Like if you was defending my honor, 2 to 5 years. But if you did something stupid or some crazy mess or something before me that I had no idea of, and now you in prison and I got to learn all this, yeah, you can a 6-month trial and I'm gone. Your lawyer got to tell me you getting out in 6 months. If I find out you ain't getting out in 6 months, I'm gone. I know that's messed up, but at the same time, I didn't sign up for that. I just didn't. That's why I would never pick somebody in no mess. I just wouldn't do it. Yeah, we know. We already knew. That part, all these secret, yeah, and it's like, Carlos, why you let these people come on this show? I get some of these things are legalities. I get it. We can't talk about it all. But once the court cases are final, they need to start talking about some of this stuff. They do. Not all the laughing bubbles. I know I'm crazy, y'all. Don't pay me no mind. But after we done with the whole Sunny thing, we learn about Moses. Carlos asked Sunny, "Do you want to apologize to Destiny?" And Sunny looked over at Destiny and said, "I tried to apologize when we were in St. Thomas. She didn't want to receive it then. I don't know about me apologizing and doing it now, what it will do, but I think I'm good. I think we can coexist." And Destiny said, "I don't see, and that's not the problem that I have. The problem that I have is that she had questioned the paternity of my child and said that was the reason why I got divorced from my ex-husband. And there's never been a situation where the paternity of my child has ever been questioned. So the fact that she would do that, it's unforgivable." And Sunny said, "I just put a picture up of Maury and she took it as what it was." And everyone's like, "Well, Sunny, that was shady. Like, that was shade." And Sunny said, "You can take it how you want." Because what Sunny is doing at this point, she's doing the notable deniability. But what she also said, which gave it away, that you were pressed by Destiny, is Destiny had a little podcast that I do nothing about that I should have listened to this entire season, where Destiny was talking about the show, and she said she only talked about what she saw on the show, the episodes, and any episodes that include Sunny and Moses. She spoke about it. So now I want to watch it because I want to say, well, what exactly did you say? Because I don't see Sunny just putting up subliminal posts like Maury Povich, who's the daddy, if there wasn't something more said. Mrs. Best, what do you think?
Yeah, Sunny isn't just going to do that for no reason, especially because you could tell that she knows she's wrong because in the beginning of the season, she was trying to make an effort to have a conversation. But there's something Destiny did or said that pushed her to respond the way that she's responded now. Personally, they married now. Move on. Destiny, move on. I feel like when Destiny's backed into a corner, she just pulls some BS out of her rear end. Just move on.
Shady. I know everybody want me to watch this, but I really feel like Destiny not gonna say nothing. If Destiny don't explain more detail than what we saw, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I feel like she probably did let out a little bit more sauce when it came to Sunny and Moses and her. But I want to talk about the court cases. I want to talk about what she was arrested for. I want to talk about the stuff she's not talking about or the stuff that we're not seeing. If she's doing that, then fine. Like Dr. Heavenly be letting out all kind of tea and stuff that didn't make the show. She be letting it all out. If Destiny's not doing what Dr. Heavenly is doing on Married to Medicine, I don't want to watch it. I don't. I need to know all of the details because I need things to make sense. And I feel like Destiny's probably going to confuse us more on this podcast. I do. I feel like she's going to confuse us even more. So we move on. They kind of take another little break. And Sunny, Mel goes to check on Sunny and she asks if she was okay. And Sunny's like, "I'm just fed up with this. At this point, I need her to move on and stuff like that." And then she talked about her lying, talking about you and I we're feeding the storyline to the network as if you need to shop a storyline, and that Moses married me to try to get back at her to get on TV when he could have been on TV when he was her boyfriend. And Mel was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "Look at Sunny. Look at Sunny putting stuff in our heads that we didn't even think about either." Because that show went over my head. Destiny could have had Moses on the show back when they were together. But see, what she was trying to do is not look bad for the court cases when it came to her and LeBaric. I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah. I want to talk about what exactly is she selling out of the storage unit and on the podcast. Oh, is she not talking about what she's selling out of the storage unit? Wasn't it some candles and some fragrances? I mean, I told y'all, look. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat Destiny up on the board because someone got really mad at me and unsubscribed from me because I talked about Destiny in the storage unit because he sure did have the same travel issue when he and Destiny were. I'm saying, I'm saying, but Destiny and the whole storage unit. I don't know because I don't know what Destiny is doing. I don't know if she's actually making the products herself. I didn't see no plumbing in that storage unit. I didn't see no crop pots plugged up to the wall. I don't know what Destiny is doing. I
She
don't think
out committing alleged fraud and talking about the rest of the cast. I don't think that she's doing anything. Even Carlos spoke about her storage unit and referred to it as a storage unit. So to that person, I am so sorry. Yes, it was a storage unit. But she has nothing going on. And how can you have the time to make a candle when you're out defrauding people allegedly? So I don't know. Destiny, I think they really missed the mark bringing her back. I don't think she needs to come back.
she
I
don't.
just don't.
She don't. So y'all, we're gonna move on. The next thing we talk about is Patricia and Ken. There they come. And I'm just like, Lord, here we go. So, how many relaunches she had for this brand of hers? Too many to count. But you know what? I'm not going to begrudge her for that because when you believe in something, by no means, sometimes you have to find a new vision to the same old dream. I know that's in a song somewhere. And I believe in that. I do. I believe sometimes you have to keep going until you keep falling. So I don't begrudge her for that. I want her to continue to try. If this is what she's really passionate in, I want her to keep trying it. The only thing that I will say is that don't let it put you so far into debt or anything that can really harm you financially where you can't get back up from it. If any dream that you have does that for you, then you need to refigure out that dream because maybe you have it wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. But moving on from there, we have Trisha and Ken, and the whole thing about Martell comes up, and they ask Melody, do you think that Martell and Trish slept together? And this was after Carlos gave Trish the whole degree. Did you sleep with Martell? She said no. Did you send any pics to Martell? She said no. And what else did he say? Have Martell sent you any pics? And she said no. She said no to everything. So they asked Melody, do you think Trish and Martell slept together? She goes, I can't speak for Trish because I don't know her. But I know Martell will screw anything with legs. So I 100% believe on his part, yes. Now, this is going to be a stretch, but y'all work for me. Y'all work with me here. The reason why I believe he did, and I don't know what made me look at her, and I don't know what made me think about this. I want everyone to look at Ariana Curry and do a side by side between her and Trish. They favor a lot, Trish and Ariana. They favor a lot. I didn't notice this at first, but then when I looked at their face structures and actually looked at them, they favor. So I believe it only on the strength of that alone that that's very much so possible. Um, Not being honest with her husband prior to the show is what makes me side at her. I don't know what to believe of. Let me explain something to y'all. When Martell said, yeah, we slept together, instead of with a straight face, and I was like, wait, what? And then he said, no, I'm just playing. I said, Martell, come on now. And Ken said, that wasn't funny. I said, oh, it wasn't? Oh, it wasn't? What's not funny about it, Ken? What's not funny about it? Because you're no different, sir. You're no different. If he did it, if you did it, y'all are on the same. Because guess what? Her husband is backstage. Hello. So I think that was comical coming from him because you're no different than Martell. You just want to actually got her in the house and live with her. Just saying. I don't like when men do that. I don't like when men trying to point out that that's not funny when you're basically committing adultery right now with this lady. So yeah, but I don't care too much for that to put the picture of them two heifers up there and try to compare and contrast. I don't have the time. I just don't. Martavia's talking that stuff. You cannot run too fast in that tight. Oh, this is best. How did you feel about that?
Everyone involved lacks intelligence. Um, yep. like I believe that the two did sleep together. Just off the simple fact that why are you bothered that this person acts like they did not know you? Um, we know that Trisha is a liar. And yeah, I'll be telling y'all week after week. Don't date nobody who's not finalized in their divorce. That's it. Don't do it. It's a mess.
It's a
Uh,
mess and it's so unnecessary. And for me, it makes the person on the receiving end, not the person who's married to the person, it makes them look stupid. And the fact that this is a continuous habit for Kim, it's like, sir, we need you to get context clues. If they're not available, then you cannot get mad when the past or the present comes up and says, yes, I have her, or yes, I had her. You can't get mad at that. I'm sorry. Like,
I
I know a lot.
really, with Ken, I truly believe it is my professional and personal opinion that he is in this for the competition within himself as a way to make himself feel better. I feel
Mm,
like him marrying her isn't even fully based on love because he's very quick to bring up the things that he does financially,
yeah,
materialistically, all of those things that you don't do that out when you actually like genuinely love someone and want to build a life with them. I think he just want to see if he can get her to divorce the guy and marry him, and then he'll probably lose interest in her and go cheat on her with somebody else. So the whole situation to me is just a bunch of broken, toxic people who all individually need therapy and are sexually immature. Because based on what Marquez says, he may not be the richest or most present father, but it doesn't sound like he was cheating on Trish left and right. It sounds like she was the one that was likely stepping out in the marriage, because the timeline, you have to think, if you and Martell, as you said now, Trish, were both going through divorces and not living with your spouses, and if you slept with Martell, that's not a big damn deal. But she's the one that's lied about things. In some ways, him trying to act like they don't know each other was protecting her and just keeping it private, but she's the one that brought it to the show. So I don't know, I just feel like she is the bigger problem, and I think it shows that she was likely cheating on Marquez and she don't want to admit that part, because then he really will probably divorce her and get petty, because we know he ain't got shit. So that's how I feel about the whole situation. I'm sick of hearing about it. Trisha's a liar. I don't believe nothing that come out her mouth or her wig.
mm-hmm. Because for her to say that, she's like, I didn't know how this show was going to go. Like, I didn't know how much of my business I was supposed to tell. Well, if nothing happened, then what are you telling?
She's a
It was,
liar.
it was like, well, if nothing happened, then what exactly are you exposing? To me, the context clue was when y'all first got on camera together and he acted like he didn't know you and you felt slighted. Ma'am, I'm sorry. Somebody that I don't have no connection to, or somebody who of course, I know in passing, and we may know of each other. I'm not gonna feel slighted if they say, "Hey, I'm this person. Nice to meet you." I'm gonna meet them with that same energy because maybe they forgot about me. Who knows? I don't know. But she felt away, and we're not gonna ignore that. Like, we're not gonna. And I'm mad that Carlos did not bring that up. Like, why would you feel slighted when he felt like he didn't know you? Like, what was that energy about? Because anybody would too, we all of the YouTubers across that recap the show all felt that same way. Like, why are you giving this all this energy? Why are you feeling slighted by this man if nothing happened? So that's why I believe Martell when he said, yeah, we slept together. I believed it right when he said it. So yeah, she is. She was sitting over there. It was funny when y'all look at the scene again when they were replaying Trisha lying. Look at Ken's face. Everybody else was laughing. Kim was pissed. Kim was so pissed, and
Which
I
tells
feel
you
like,
he's delusional. Because why are
mm-mm,
you mad? Like you said, they're doing the same thing.
you're doing the same. That's why I say it's the same thing. How are you mad when it's the same thing you're doing? You just because you with her and you guys are publicly in a relationship does not make you any different. Because at the end of the day, the lady is still married. So it's like I don't understand why you're so mad. Like, that's not nothing to get mad about. You and him are the same guy. Yeah, just gonna get. I know they're coming back next season, but I'm not looking forward to that at all, you guys. And that was pretty much the end of the second part, y'all. I know the third part. This is Stormy making her appearance back, fine and dandy. That's cool. Yay, yay, yay. But that was it. I don't really feel like that. It's just y'all. Trisha can annoy me. I know next week they're gonna get on my nerves. I know Marquez gonna get on my nerves. I know everything is gonna get on my nerves next week. So I'm gonna really get my rest and I'm gonna really sink into this screen. Mm-hmm. Ken, you cheating with her, but you're mad that she's cheating on you. Oh, 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 damn.
Ken don't want to face the fact that if Trish was married and was talking to him, because I believe they was talking when she was still married before there was any separation. If she'll cheat on her husband to get with Ken, I think maybe the show is making him realize, who will she cheat on me? You are not the only one. I believe Trish is sleeping with everybody left and right personally. Because it be them quiet ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah, all the time, all the time. No matter what the circumstances, all the time. Be them quiet ones, be the ones that you would never think, and be the
Hmm.
most treacherous people of all. Did y'all see the extra that was online where Destiny Q's mellow group? Yes, I did see that, and I'm not going to talk about that because I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Destiny is bored. Renew your storage contract. Figure out how to get a good attorney. Stop doing things that get you caught up with the law. And maybe talk to God and touch some grass. That's my advice to Destiny.
And let me tell you another reason why I don't believe it. Because to me, what person in their mid to late or to early 40s or whatever destiny age, how could you be groomed at that age? When you already been married, already have been through life, you have a child. How can you? We need to really understand what that means to be groomed.
She gonna fuck around and get herself sued.
Yes.
Because Mel
Like,
called an attorney and the feds on her ex-husband and the father of her small children. So who's to say Destiny is not smart? I'm trying to
she's
tell y'all this.
not. It is. That's what I felt like too. I felt like Destiny wanted a reason to make her. I don't necessarily say her story, but she wants to make it seem like everything has an explanation. That is not her own responsibility.
That's
Oh,
defamation of character. If
it
I was
is.
Mel, my attorney would be serving her ass right now. Because you don't make certain stuff up. You don't play with certain topics and subjects, and that's one of them. Because that could actually cancel her, ruin her brand. You don't play with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Carlos gave Destiny that look like you on thin ice already. You ain't bringing shit to this show, so you better shut up. That's what Carlos was giving on that sitting up there. He gave her that look like, I know you lying. You better sit back. But no, I'm gonna say this. Like for me to get back to Bap's point, I, as I said, I don't believe that because I feel like people are using that term very loosely and not really like understanding what that means. Another person who did it that I was really pissed that she did it because I felt like that's not what we was looking at when we looked at her was Mia Thornton on Real Housewives of Potomac, where she said that her husband also groomed her. When I feel like there were so many holes in that story because she said her husband was grooming her when she was 19, but you were married before him and had a whole nother baby. And then when you look at when you got married, you weren't married until you were 25. So I'm trying to figure out where was the grooming. And as I told y'all, grooming, and a good example of grooming is Kirk and Rashida. That's grooming. This is not grooming, and I'm sure whatever Destiny pointed out probably wasn't grooming either. So I feel like we need to look at the real definition of that and really understand what that term of a placement actually means versus just saying it just because you feel a way about it. Yeah. So, well, isn't that how the show got Carlos caught? Well, that was alleged, even though I believed it. That was alleged. You're talking about Phaedra's situation with Candy. I do believe to some extent. I don't believe it was every extent. And I do believe there was more to that than that story when it came to Phaedra, because you know Phaedra lies so much. We never really can pinpoint, you know, because she's so good at lawyers are good at what they do, y'all. That's why they're lawyers. They're good at which that's why people say like Phaedra's not a good attorney, she can't win no cases. I'm like, y'all had to understand how the game works. Lawyers get paid regardless if they win or if they lose. They get paid regardless. And sometimes when you lose, you get paid more than when you won.
Phaedra also got off some very well-known celebrities back
Yes.
in the day. That's what made her relevant for the Housewives of Atlanta. So she's proven that she can win cases.
I don't know. I don't follow them, so I don't know. I really don't. I don't follow neither one of Ti and Tiny. I don't really
There was a
care.
lawsuit, but there was a bunch of lawsuits for that. I know a few of them were dropped, and some of them Ti and Tiny ended up prevailing and getting paid. So I believe
Yeah,
somebody was lying on them. At least that's what it looked like in court, because I don't know.
yeah. I don't know either, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't follow them at all. I don't. It's not, and I love them both. I do, but I don't really. That not my kind of cup of tea. If that makes sense. I can't stand the misogyny from him, and I can't take the gullibleness from her. It's just something about them two I just can't get with. So yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, that was pretty much that. That we spent a lot more time than I thought we were going to. So much for my little nap before work. But that's okay, y'all. I love y'all all with all one and the same. I don't have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this week because they are now officially off the air. I will find something to put in the place of that video. So we'll see what happens with that. I might do an updates video because it's been a while. I might do a reaction video to Real Housewives of Atlanta or talk about the storyline because you know y'all YouTube be funny when you watch videos here, so I have to be careful. I don't know. We'll see what we will. Me and Mrs. Best will talk. We'll see. We both got a busy week this week, so we'll see. I'll be so happy when you can start doing a StreamYard, invite guests in the calls. I want to talk instead of just write. Oh, Shana, you are welcome to my channel anytime you would like, honey. Anytime you would like to come up here and give your 2 cents, I will send you a link mid video, and you can definitely come up here and talk. Anytime, love. Anytime. So, but that's it, you guys. Oh, go ahead, Mrs. Best. Sorry.
I didn't say anything. I just set the phone down. I'm sorry. I didn't know it made a noise.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure I didn't get you. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you. Good. I will make sure to keep that in mind. I will be here sometime this week, and then we'll be on Mrs. Best channel this week as well for Love and Hip Hop Miami, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We will be here this week. So you guys make sure you are here with us. We love you all, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
My God.